let's get started on creating a perfect holiday party look. Started with clean, moisturized skin. First product is primer. I'm using the Sephora Smooth and Blur primer. Next, foundation. I'm using the Clinique Even Better makeup, but you can tell mine is well loved. This is shade WN94 Deep Neutral Medium. No matter where I'm going, what I'm wearing, I like to bring it down my neck a little bit just to help blend everything in, and I do go back onto my ears. Because holiday parties are like fun, they last for a couple hours, they tend to be at night, there's maybe some dancing, yeah. I want this to stay. So before I even go in and blend it, setting spray, I'm using the Sephora makeup setting spray. I want my base on all night. Now we're gonna go in with some setting powder. I am currently using a sample of one of the Kat Von D setting powders, but I've put it into the old container of a Sephora one because it's bigger. Concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. This is 27S Light Medium Sand. Damp sponge. Setting powder. Contour, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in shade Truffle 4. Sometimes I use a buffing brush. Sometimes I use one of these like contour brushes. And I'll bring it up to the like socket of the eye a little bit. We're going to be doing kind of a dramatic look. We can add a little bit of like a base shadow. I did go a little crazy over here, so I'm not adding anything to the sponge, but I am going to just get a little bit more control over that. Fluffy brush. A little more setting powder. You don't need a ton right now. Now the secret sauce. Blush. I am using the Sailor Moon X Colourpop in Cat's Eye, which I've been using for a while. I like to add a little up here, also in that gap. One, to add a little sunlight back in, and two, to help blend everything all together. Now I'm going to add some highlighter. This is in rough shape. I've had this forever. This is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated in shade Aura. I don't even know if they still make this. And I'm using a foundation brush because my highlighter brush currently has yellow eyeshadow in it from my Halloween look, because I need to wash my brushes. Cupid's bow, bridge of the nose. And I do like to bring my highlight up over like the arch of my eyebrow. Not everybody does that. It's your own face, you know, do what you gotta do. I like to do my eyebrows next, starting with brow wax. I'm using the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. When I'm going out or doing photos or gonna be on stage, anything like that, I like to fill in my brows with a pencil. And I know that sounds scary, but it's really not that bad, trust me. I'm using the NYX eye and eyebrow pencil. This is literally all that's left of it. This is the shade Black Brown. Works really well if you have very dark hair. They look a little crazy to start, a little Sharpie-esque, but that's okay. Get your spoolie. And when you're doing your spoolie, you're going to want to start in the center and work your way out because again, you're blending, so you're aiming for the ombre effect, but you know, towards the ends. That is what I consider to be my base makeup, including my brows. So I'm going to go in with another round of setting spray. Okay, starting with your eyes. So I'm going to be using the same palettes I use all the time. If you've never watched my videos before, there are 3 palettes I use all the time. So much so that I keep them in my everyday makeup kit. They're all by ColourPop. This isn't sponsored. They're just the best palettes, in my opinion, for the versatility of the colors. First is the Limoncello palette. I like a lot of browns, and because I have olive bases, red browns tend to look really good on my skin. I enjoy blues, and these olivey tones also look really good. You can tell I use that color and that color, that one the most. But I do also get into these shimmers. And sometimes I use the yellow, I won't lie, like I do use the yellow. I've used every color. I love this palette. Also, it has a really big mirror, so that is helpful. The next palette I use is the Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian ColourPop palette. And again, okay, well, realistically, you can tell that I use this color almost exclusively. It is the perfect base shimmery champagne tone for my skin. But I also do use some of these, like you can see I use the some of these shimmers, and when I do my highlighter eye, that's usually always this pink. It's very vibrant. And then the last palette, and this is the one we're going to actually be using today. This is the Of Quartz palette. Very cool toned browns, grays. These look black, but they're not a true black. They're more charcoaly. I actually don't own like a true black eyeshadow, which I find to be shocking, but I make it work with these grays, and that's what counts, right? Okay, let's get into this. So we're starting with our base shadow shade, which is going to be our neutral. And you're gonna put this everywhere, from your lash line to your brow bone. Now grabbing a brush that's a little bit more like rounded, but also like kind of fine. Moving into the Of Quartz palette, we're going to start with this shade, In the Zone. Go to the top of your crease. If you have trouble finding your crease, open your eye, put your brush in, and then you can close it, and that's where you're going to be. You're going to be working in the crease and a little bit above it. So you want to be like under your brow bone and then a little bit on top of your brow bone. Don't go all the way down out here. Once you start getting to like the outer corner, leave that. Get a little more powder on your brush. Go from the outer corner of your eye towards the tail of your eyebrow. Then bring those together. And it's going to be kind of messy when you start. You can see it's kind of messy, but we're kind of going for like a triangular-esque shape. It's important that you leave your lid open because we're going to add a shimmer. I love a shimmer. It looks a little harsh. That's okay. We're not blending yet. Just trust me. Back into the palette. We're going in with this color now. Granite Access. And you're going back over those lines. We're just deepening it with a little bit more of these cool taupish brown shades. Now we're gonna blend. You're gonna want kind of like this is like kind of fluffy, but it's like a flat fluffy brush. It doesn't have to be this kind of brush exactly, whatever blending brush you like. And this is you know, go in with a windshield wiper style motion because you don't want it to move from where you've placed it. Placement is kind of key with this look. Okay, using The same brush, we're going in with this middle shade at the bottom here. That's called Opaque. And this is like a charcoal grayish black. Same spots. Proceed lightly. Did you see that instant fallout? I didn't tap it enough. So I'm going to show you a way to fix this, and also a way to kind of not have to worry about that happening in the future. Blend. Okay, so I accidentally got way too much eyeshadow on this eye. This is two different ways to achieve the next step in the look. One on an eye where didn't really get too much eyeshadow on it, and one on an eye where you did. I am going to be using a couple of different products for this. So the finishing step to this look is putting a shimmering shade in the center of the lid. That's going to be your lid shade. So on this eye, I'm going to be using a liquid eyeshadow. This is by LA Girl, the Dream Glitter Iridescent Liquid Eyeshadow in shade Aura. And it looks like on this side, I'm going to use like an actual eyeshadow. I'm going to try to match that. To best match that liquid eyeshadow on the other side, I'm getting my Morphe. This is the Artistry Hotspot 35H palette, and I'm going to use that silver shade. To start, you're going to need your concealer for this eye. I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. You're going to want a small flat packing brush, little bit of concealer. I'm going to get a mirror, and you're going to carve out your eyelid, basically as if you're doing a halo eye, which I guess this is what you're doing. We're making a halo eye, but with like a cat eye effect. You're going to want to set that with some setting powder. I'm using the same exact brush. Bam. I wipe the brush off because I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. Same brush. And you're just going to pack it on top. Okay, I'm going to use my finger now. See if that helps. Yeah, that's making a huge difference. So actually, sometimes using your finger just works better. We could also do concealer to lay the base for the liquid shadow, but I'm going to do it without first, just to show you that it works pretty well. Also, it's like just a little more subtle. Same brush. You're just going to wipe some off of the applicator. Let that sit. I'm going to add a little bit more, actually, a little closer to the lash. So going back to the same brush I've been using to apply all the darker shadows, I'm going to, without adding any more product, just sort of do the outer 2/3 of the bottom. Using the same brush that I applied my shimmer shades, I'm going to add some of the highlighter that I used earlier under the brow. To truly finish off this look, I'm going to do some liner, but using eyeshadow for the whole eye. You can use regular liner, but I kind of wanted to stay soft and smoky because that's kind of like what we're going for. So I'm going to use like a true liner brush. I'm going back into the Of Course palette, and I'm going to use this sparkly dark shade called Rock On. Put my brush, tap it off. Otherwise, you might get fallout, and that's okay. We can fix that, but, you know, it's a pain in the butt. I like to start kind of in the middle of the lid. This is where we're going to kind of smoke it out on the ends. At the outer edge of your eye, and have come up in the shape you've been applying that shadow before. And then bring it down. See how we just kind of made like the teeniest, tiniest little wing, and it instantly brought the eye out. That's what we're going for. Now try to do it on the other side. Ooh, that one came out even better. Yeah, I gotta fix that side. We have finished applying eyeshadows. Now it's time for mascara. Use the one of choice that you enjoy. I am currently using the voluminous L'Oreal Paris Voluminous waterproof mascara. If you want big, extra dramatic lashes, which maybe you do if we're getting ready for a holiday party, and you don't like putting on fake lashes, I personally struggle with that. I recommend getting a mascara primer, which I will start with today. I'm using one by Lancome. It's a sample size. But apparently L'Oreal also makes a very good one. My mom has used it. She really likes it. All right, give that a second to set. Go back in with mascara. I like to bend my mascara wand because I find it's a little easier to work with, but this usually goes straight. Bam. Lashes. Without having to put on lashes. There are some people who believe that if you do a dramatic eye look, you cannot do a dramatic lip look. And that is simply not true. You can do whatever the heck you want. So I'm going to show you my go-to red lip combo. Starting with my base color, which is the NARS Velvet Lip Crayon in the shade Cruella. Well loved. And I'm going to use a mirror. Line and fill in my lips with this. Next, I'm going in with my base lipstick. This is the Revlon. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's L'Oreal Color Riche in Rouge Saint Germain 120. Using your trusted finger, I'm just going to blend those two lip products together. Okay, and then using a clean finger, I just clean out the outer edges. Otherwise, it can look a little crazy. And I always wipe my lipstick off my Cupid's bow. That it kind of makes these little arches here look a little bigger. And then to finish it off, I'm using a lip gloss. This is by Giovanni. It's in the shade Blush. I'm pretty sure this was like a limited edition promotion. I'm not sure if they still make it. If they do, guys, I need like 10 more of these. You can use any. This is kind of like, it was a very clear baby pink with some glitter in it. I used it on top of a lot of darker things. See? But like a gold gloss would also look really pretty. Setting spray. And that is my go-to holiday party look for this holiday season.